Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys our Season 1 Week 5 battle of the TGS against Burger and his team name that I completely forget. Please go check out Burger in the description below. He had his game up on time, and he's been having a great season with like Terra and Amorous, Garchomp, Sneasler, Scissor. I mean, his team's really cool. I actually really like his draft. Like I said, his is up on time. Mine wasn't. I apologize about that, guys. I know this is like almost a week late, going up on Monday. Sometimes life happens. I've had a really hectic last few weeks, and I went to look back on my footage. It was also completely messed up. So we're going to be post-comming this game. Again, we should be back on track. Week 6 with A12 going up on Thursday. So I apologize about that, guys. Don't like to miss uploads and be late, but this isn't my job, nor is it school. So sometimes it takes the back burner and things like that, but we should be good and back to go now. Now, we're going to do a very fast team builder. Just kind of want to show you the general idea of the team that we have, and then we'll jump into the post-com against Burger. So you can see his team below us. You see our first Pokemon, which is going to be our lead in Raging Bolt. We are Terra Ghost, and the main reason we're leading is because I want to ensure my Terra immediately. Ghost is really strong offensively, but also defensively versus a team like this, where Draco, Thunderclap, Volt Switch, and Terra Blast. There's also going to be a great Sneasler check, which I don't have a great answer to. Also, Ghost is like very difficult for him to break through in the sense that like really only his Hisui Rod is going to do considerable damage to a Terra Ghost Bolt, and that mon gets blown up by a Thunderclap, so he's going to have to be very careful about that. Potentially, win some sucker mind games. And we have a Protective Plats SD Blaziken. We are Close Combat, Knockoff, Fire Punch, and Swords Dance. 208 HP, 88 attack, and 212 speed. A very bulky set. Sets up on the likes of Pokemon like Serena, Rotom, Ursaring pretty darn freely. We're also going to, I think, and obviously Scizor. I think we also live a hit from Slowbro. I think that's why we're so darn bulky. And hopefully we can set up an SD and really punish and break through his team. I don't expect this to be the win condition. I expect this to hopefully break for our win condition in Moon. We are Booster Energy with Knockoff, D-Claw, Iron Head, and DD. Very fat set, just because we want to be booster speed. Now, why am I not Acro on this set? You'd think you would want Acro for something like the Sneasler. I felt like I couldn't fit it. I felt like getting some hazards up to whittle down the Sneasler and put in range of a +1 D-Claw was a little bit smarter, because I really wanted the revenge on Garchomp. If Garchomp gets up an SD and a Scale Shot, things could be wraps, and I do not have Rillaboom this week, so I wanted something to potentially revenge that thing 100% of the time, and that is what Moon is here for. So I liked having these 3 coverage moves. I also have Iron Head because I expect it to be like a Stellar Terra Enam. Or Terra Fairy, because both of those absolutely demolish me. Terra Fairy honestly makes a ton of sense too, to be honest. So, yeah, that's going to be our moon set, probably our main win condition. Then we got Sandy Shocks, Volt Switch, Scorching Spikes, and Power Gem on the set. Power Gem is for the Rotom. Other than that, we are kind of just Volt Switch, Scorching Sand. Scorching Sand is to punish switch-ins like Serena, punish switch-ins like Garchomp. We have a Pasho Berry so that we can take a hit from the likes of Hisui Rot and Slowbro, Volt Switch out, or get up a spike in their face if we feel like it. We're still modest and pretty strong here, but our natural bulk and defensive typing is going to allow us to live a hit from like things like Sneasler, things like Enam, and hopefully do a lot of damage to them and punish them. Then we have a Primarina. We are Heavy Duty Boots with a Rest Talk variant. We are Luring Voice, Surf, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Hindsight, maybe Torrent wasn't the move, and going like Liquid Voice plus Psychic Noise was. I don't think I was actually aware of that tech at this time. It's been a minute. But there's going to be our main check to the likes of things like Garchomp, Scizor, Hisui Samurott, a ton of things like that. Boots going to allow us to not have to worry about hazards coming in, because there are a lot of hazards on the opposing side, and I have removal, but it's not the greatest in this matchup. So I want something to check those guys. The Luring Voice is there to kind of punish setup on the likes of Garchomp, Scizor, even things like Enamorous, things like SD, Samurott, and I didn't really need the Moonblast damage per se, so we end up going Luring Voice to confuse that if, it ended up happening, and punish things like Sneasler too, trying to set up on me, because it'll live a hit. Then lastly, we have Komala making its debut. We are AV with Body Slam, Knockoff, Ice Spinner, and Rapid Spin. This is going to be our main hazard removal, as well as a mon that checks the likes of Terra Fairy Enam, in the sense that, like, if it's Specs, I'll at least know and be able to revenge it, and if it's Scarf, I'll be able to take it on decently well enough. It's kind of here as a 6-mon. Honestly, looking at the team, they didn't really have a great 6th mon. This is a really bad Rillaboom matchup with the things that Burger has here. I had Torkoal for a little bit, but I didn't like it either. And then Raj felt pretty bad too. So I ended up going Komala here because it also gave me Spin, as well as like a Spadef Sponge / take a hit one time mon. But yeah, that is going to be the team. Let's jump into the battle. Alrighty, here we are at the battle. You can see what Burger brought. He's rocking out with the Garchomp, the Enamorous, the Sneasler, the Slowbro, the Ursaring, and the Serena in this one. So, as for what he's rocking out with in this game, it looks like he's going to be Terra Fighting as well as the Enam. So it looks like my Kamala doesn't check it as well as I would like. It looks like it might be some kind of superpower variant. So that's going to be something that we have to keep in mind going forward. We are going to stick with our plan of leading off with Bolt, getting off our initial Terra, and hopefully doing a lot of damage against this team. We do see a lead Serena into our lead Bolt. In hindsight, 2020, Terraing probably isn't the play here, right? Because a knockoff is very likely. Now, Triple Axle can come out, but doesn't seem super likely, especially considering the team I have in the back and my potential answers. Knockoff is a very free click. So what I can do is I can either just Volt or Draco immediately, or I can make a hard Blaziken pivot. Regardless, I don't think that my play is to Terra. Unfortunately, we are going to make that Terra play, where I do get knocked out for a ton of damage, 59% in fact, and I Draco and see this is super AV, which is good though, because that means that this is unrecoverable damage. From here, I am going to make that pivot into Blaziken, unfortunately take a knockoff on this as well, so the Serena is getting insane value into the squad, right? I'm going to make a double out into my Primarina, expecting something like a Slowbro or a Garchomp to potentially come in to get off a little bit of damage, scout and see what the initial pivot's going to be. Looks like it actually is going to be Slowbro. Out comes the Ursaring as it doubles out into the Serena as I get into Big Bolter. Gonna have to pivot out. I don't really beat that thing at the moment. And we get into Blaziken here. I see this as an opportunity to potentially SD and go for a lot of damage on some things. Now, unfortunately, this Slowbro still is at full. And part of me is really regretting not going Thunder Punch at this point, because Colbur was pretty darn obvious, right? It was helps with the Moon, helps the Blaziken, you know, a ton of different things like that. But regardless, popping this thing's Colbur is going to be nice for my Moon a little bit later on, because no item knockoff is still going to be better than Colbur knockoff, I guess. So we are going to SD, try and do a little bit of damage. I don't really have any other opportunities to get off this SD, and it also covered aggressive Garchomp pivot and things like that, because then I can get off a really strong +2 CC into that guy. We are going to go ahead and just knock off this guy. Unfortunately, I'll do 39 because Colbur Berry and Blaziken not beating the fraud allegations. Once again, going down. I'm going to get out into Bolt here. I'm going to just drop a Draco. There's not really a Draco pivot. There's Enam, which gets blown up by a Volt Switch, Thunderclap, Discharge, whatever I want to click. And then Ursaring, which I'm pretty sure I wall. And then this Serena. So I can go ahead and do some damage. Bring this thing nice and low, do 51%. Oh man, so close to a KO. Thank God we have Thunderclap, right? We're going to be able to pick this thing off, except I'm an idiot and forgot about Queenly Majesty. The story of our season thus far. Again, just a really bad play. I was tilted in the moment and was playing the game and completely forgot that this thing had that ability and was a great check to this, probably partly because of that. So unfortunately, Bolt is going to be brought down really low. I am going to save it for Thunderclap later into things like Sneasler, into things like Enam, stuff like that. Basically just going to sack off Kamala, get into one game this season and got his shit rocked. We get out into Sandy Shocks, pick off this Serena with a Scorching Sands. Next up, Garchomp is going to be the pivot. I am going to get out into Primarina, as it is my main answer to this thing. And I can just drop an Alluring Voice. This thing is Poison Jab, which wouldn't have 2-hit KO'd me if I didn't take the hit otherwise, but unfortunately it does here. I'm going to save it because there are different opportunities for it to be okay-ish, I guess. I'm going to get out into my Sandy Shocks. I really want to get a spike up for some damage and some things. Maybe break a Sash on that Sneasler. Unfortunately, my Bolt is now dead because this is a rocking Garchomp. We are going to be able to 1v1 this thing as we do click Scorching Sands, do a decent amount of damage, get out into our Roaring Moon, get our booster speed going, and hopefully set up a DD and win this game potentially. Now, we are going to have to win a 50-50 on Enam. But other than that, it's very possible for this thing to just break through on its own if we get up that Dragon Dance. Unfortunately, the Sneasler is going to come out hard. I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. Is it going to be a Sash set or what's it going to be? Scarf, doesn't matter. I'm Booster Speed DD, but it shows the Mirror Herb, which is really cool tech from Burger here. And from here, he's just going to go ahead and be able to CC and Dire Claw through the team really quick, and unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. This is another game where I played really bad. We start off the season 0-5, which I don't think I've ever done before. So it's very frustrating, but trust me, it's not due to lack of effort. It's just due to one, having a pretty bad draft, in my opinion. I think I drafted pretty terribly this season, and I'm playing against great players that are just playing better than me. I'm not going to stop grinding it, even though obviously we are 100% mathematically eliminated from playoffs. I don't want to finish last in the league that I made, so we're gonna for sure be grinding. I apologize again that this is up so late. I've had a really hectic last couple weeks, so we should be back on track next week against A12. Should be up on time on whatever it is, Thursday. So once that's up, you'll see our next game. And yeah, again, I appreciate you guys sticking through it with me. I'm doing my best. I promise you, it is not due to lack of effort, and I'll keep it rolling. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later.